All right, y'all, I'm going to make this video as quick as possible. Shout out to Bree5K for suggesting that I make this video. So here I am going to tell you about my interview process for being an area manager at Amazon, and then also what my first month was like. I'm going to do my best to remember as much as I can, but y'all, it was almost 3 years ago at this point, so I don't remember much. I will say, if you don't know, my name is Shanice. I worked as an area manager at Amazon for 2 years. Last year, I did make the decision to leave just to pursue entrepreneurship full time and just to walk in my God-given purpose. So here I am doing my best, y'all, and it has not been an easy journey, but that's a little bit about me, and I'm going to get started. For the hiring process, I had 2 interviews. These were both virtual interviews, and first I was interviewed by this lady, and after her I was interviewed by this guy. Now the thing about these interviews is they were back to back, so it's not like I interviewed first and it's like, oh, we're going to get back to you. It's like, no, I interviewed with her, and then probably like, I think it was a few minutes later, maybe, I had my interview with him. So they were back-to-back interviews. If I recall correctly, I believe they were L5s. And I also will say, I remember my sister telling me, like, if you have a bachelor's degree, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to get hired as an area manager at Amazon. Of course, experience helps and stuff like that. But if you are fresh out of college, it should be pretty easy for you to land a job as an area manager. For the hiring process, I cannot remember any of the questions. And for myself, I cannot remember some of my answers. I will say I stumbled on some of my answers. I remember literally being like, oh my gosh. Like, and the girl was like, it's okay, you got it. Like, she was basically just telling me, there's nothing to worry about. You'll be just fine. A big thing that Amazon pushes when it comes to interviews is stories. So basically telling, a story like that happened, and sometimes you might have to make the story up, right? Because they just want to see that you're able to handle a situation that arises. They want to see what you have done. Obviously it's better if your stories are true, but that's usually internal promotion. So what a lot of people do, and a very, very good thing to use while you're in the interview, is the STAR method. So the STAR method is, you explain the situation, you explain the task at hand, you go over your action, the action you took to resolve the situation, and then the result. The result is, how did it end? You spend the most part on the action part because that highlights what you did and how you handled it. So basically it's how you resolved, a problem that arose. So if you answer your questions in that way, if applicable, then that'll definitely help you during the interview process. Also, leadership principles. Amazon has, I want to say, maybe 13, 14 leadership principles. I can't remember them all, but one is like, think big. One is disagree, commit, and have a backbone. So that's pretty much respectfully disagreeing and really communicating effectively. Okay, so there's actually 16 leadership principles. I won't say them all, but customer obsession, ownership, invent and simplify, are right a lot, hire and develop the best. You are able to look these up online, and whichever one like speaks to you and you're strong on that, during your interview, definitely touch on that. You don't have to use the exact language, but it does help when you research a company and you know something about it. If you can describe how you embody some of those leadership principles, that will also help you a lot. Once my interview was over, I cannot tell you how soon it was that I got my offer letter because I really do not remember. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't remember. My memory is not the best, so I'm sorry about that. I do live in the DFW area, but when I got my offer letter, it was for Pflugerville, which is close to Austin, and I was not moving to Austin. I literally said I declined this offer unless there's a position available like in the Dallas area. And so they ended up emailing me back because my thinking was, if it's the Lord's will, it'll happen. If not, then it is what it is. So they actually responded and was like, okay, well, you can work at this location. It was Capel, so that's still the DFW area. So it was Capel / Grapevine. And the only thing was I just had to wait, I think, a couple months before I could actually start, because they had to, wait for a spot to open. So basically, if you do get an offer letter and it's for a location that you do not want, you can counter it and be like, hey, like, actually, that location doesn't work for me. This is where I live. Or, if you're moving, this is where I'm going to move. So, and, just ask them for that. Don't be afraid to ask. They also put your salary in there, so if you want to counter your salary, you can do that. I didn't do that once I started, and I really don't know how that will go down. But if that's something you want to do, you want to negotiate your salary, go for it. When they sent me that second offer letter for Dallas, it was not long. It didn't take long after I had countered it for them to send the Dallas offer letter. I think they just told me, hey, this is the site that you'll be able to work at. Let me know if that works and I'll send an offer letter. Maybe. It could have been that, or it could have been they just sent another offer letter. I will have to go look at my email. But yeah, that's really a thing. So if the location doesn't work for you, don't be afraid to ask for where you want to work at. Okay, so getting into my first month, it was really, really chill because during my first month, I actually had a lot of trainings. So the very first week, literally for every area manager, whether it's an internal transfer or, an external hire, everybody on their first week goes to Seattle. Yes, Seattle. It was my first time in Seattle, Washington, and it was so much fun. I made so many connections. There's still people that I talked to that I met in Seattle, so that's literally so amazing. My second week was AEW, which stands for Associate Experience Week. So this week is when you're at your site and you're learning the role of all of the associates. So we literally trained in stow, pick, pack. We learned all the departments, so we knew what the associates are actually doing. Next was AR Academy, because I kind of want to say I was on the floor for a week after AEW, but I don't think I was. I think after AEW, we went straight to AR Academy. Now, the thing is, everybody doesn't go to AR Academy. It has to be if your site wants you to. If your site is yeah, they want you to go to AR Academy, they'll send you. So for us, AR Academy, which is Amazon Robotics Academy, it was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. This academy was 2 weeks long. We stayed in a hotel. We all had our own rental car. We would drive to MQY1 every single day for those 2 weeks, which is a Generation 11 building, so it was more advanced. So when we were there, I was like, we don't got none of this, some things that they had, I wish we had, but it is what it is. You just got to do with what you got. I get back to Dallas and I train for about 2 weeks on the floor. So on the floor, I was shadowing another manager. He was just showing me the ropes, showing me what he does. So I didn't have my own roster. I didn't have my own team. I didn't have my own associates yet. I was just shadowing him and learning some of the duties as an AM. He was very chill and relaxed, and it's just you good, take a break, So he was really letting me chill without, explicitly being like, girl, you ain't gotta do that much. After those 2 weeks, I went to LEW, which is Leadership Experience Week. LEW happens at multiple locations at the same time. So some people go to San Diego, California. I went to Santa Clara, California. Some people go to Arlington, Virginia. Some people might even go back to Seattle, Washington for their Leadership Experience Week. That was basically my last training that I did for onboarding. And this training is basically going over leadership principles, going over different scenarios, role playing, stuff like that. I did enjoy it. Met a lot of great people there. So that whole process took over a month. Now, it took over a month because AR Academy was included, and that's a 2-week program. Like I said, everybody doesn't go there. So ideally, if you don't do AR Academy, then your first month is orientation, AW, a little bit of training on the floor, and then your Leadership Experience Week. So that could take maybe 4 to 5 weeks. It's probably site dependent. But yeah, it takes about a month for you to fully get onboarded. overall, it was a chill month, my first month. The manager who trained me, he literally was transferring to AFE once I got back. When I got back, he was gone. He was in another department. So yeah, he was literally in another department, and I was just, there. I was there with my PA. I leaned on my PA heavily. Like, he helped me so much. Like, when I tell y'all, having a strong PA is really what helps set you up for success. Like, you can know everything in the world, you can know what to do, all of that. But when I tell you, when you have somebody who's supporting you, and to be fair, like, to be really, really fair, like, to me, my PA wasn't just my PA. Like, he actually was a friend, and he still is a good friend of mine. Because when I was there, when I tell y'all, like, it wasn't just like the work support, it was like the mental and emotional support that he provided when I was there, because there will be some days where I was literally stressed out and I was like, I gotta go, I gotta get up out of here. And he'll be like, it's okay, boss lady. And I'm like, okay. And he'll like bring me back because I had some rough days there. And he was just really encouraging, and we got along so well. There will literally be times where he's like, Shanice, you want to walk the floor? And I'll be like, mm-hmm. Or I'll ask him if he want to take a walk. He'd be like, of course, duh, I want to walk the floor. Because it was like, it did take a little minute to get around the entire floor. And it was nice though, because we pretty much had the same floor, like the second floor, like pretty much daily. We usually didn't move around on floors. Everybody was just usually assigned to the same floor. So the second floor was our home, and we enjoyed it very, very much. Like I said, there was definitely some rough days, but when you have coworkers that you get along with, and that support you, and that you can work alongside well and cohesively, like, it's really amazing. I'm sorry I couldn't give you more detail about the interview process, because I'm sorry, I just don't remember like that. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions for new videos, be sure to drop it in the comments below. If you're an up and coming area manager at Amazon, I do wish you all the best. And of course, if you have any questions, always feel free to let me know. All right, I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.